Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss the important articles from the Hindu, the Indian Express, and the PIB from the UPSC CSC prelims perspective. Displayed are the list of articles which we are going to discuss in today's video. The first article of is from the PIB, which says that India's National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan, in short called the NBSAP, was recently updated and unveiled by Union Minister of the State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change at the 16th meeting of Conference of Parties COP16 to the Convention on Biological Diversity in Cali of Colombia. Know that this event was part of the special session focused on achieving the coming protocol Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework targets. Now, let us look at the key highlights of the updated NBSAP. Firstly, looking at its strategic approach, see it aims at the adoption of whole of government and whole of society approach. Furthermore, it aligns with the coming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework. Significantly, it aims to reverse the biodiversity laws by 2030 and achieve harmony with nature by the year 2050. Secondly, looking at its focus areas, see they are ecosystem restoration, species recovery programs, community-driven conservation efforts, protection and sustainable management of wetlands and marine and coastal areas. Then with respect to governance and implementation, see it is governed under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002 and its 2023 amendments. Furthermore, it involves a three-tier institutional structure with the National Biodiversity Authority, State Biodiversity Boards, and local biodiversity management committees. Know that it is coordinated by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Then, what about its consultative process? See, it is led by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, involving 23 central ministries, multiple departments, state-level organizations, communities, and other stakeholders. Furthermore, it emphasizes a bottom-up implementation approach, sectoral integration, and interagency cooperation. Now, looking at its outcomes and insights, see it provides current status and trends of the biodiversity in India. Also, it reviews the existing policy and institutional frameworks. Furthermore, it discusses biodiversity expenditure and potential financial solutions. Significantly, the updated NBSAP represents a comprehensive strategy to manage the biodiversity in India, integrating multi-stakeholder input and governance frameworks to effectively tackle environmental challenges. The second article of the day says that after better than expected air quality levels recorded post-Diwali, air quality indices of 339 and 316 on Friday and Saturday respectively led to the second best air quality post-Diwali in 9 years. Furthermore, the Delhi's air quality rapidly deteriorated over the past 24 hours, clocking the season's worst air quality index reading of 382 on the cusp of severe air level on Sunday, according to the Central Pollution Control Board's daily bulletin. In this context, let us talk about the air quality index. See, the air quality index in India is a tool designated or designed to provide the public with real-time information about the quality of air in their localities. Significantly, the air quality system categorizes the air quality into 6 levels, ranging from good, which is 0 to 50, to severe, which is 400 plus reading, providing an easily understandable way to assess the impact of pollution on health. So the categories are good, which is 0 to 50, satisfactory, which is 51 to 100, moderate, which is 101 to 200, poor, which is 201 to 300, very poor, which is 301 to 400, and severe, which is 401 to 500. Know that the air quality index is based on concentrations of 8 key pollutants, which are particulate matter 10, PM 2.5, nitrogen dioxide, ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, ammonia, and lead. Each pollutant's concentration is converted into a numerical scale that reflects its health impact, and the pollutant with the highest score determines the overall air quality index for that location. The third article of the day says that the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, who begins his last working week on Monday, headed a Supreme Court Collegium, which faithfully soldiered on to fill up the judicial vacancies while leaving a rash of obvious misses. In this context, let us talk about the Collegium System. See, it is a system of appointment and transfer of judges that has evolved through judgments of the Supreme Court and not by an act of Parliament or by a provision of the Constitution. If we have to look at the evolution of the system, see the first judge's case of 1981 declared that the primacy of the Chief Justice of India in the recommendation on judicial appointments and transfers can be refused for cogent reasons. Furthermore, the ruling gave the executive primacy over the judiciary in judicial appointments for next 12 years. Through the second judge's case in 1993, SC introduced the Collegium System, holding that consultation really meant concurrence. Also, it added it was not the CJI's individual opinion, but an institutional opinion formed in consultation with the two senior-most judges in the Supreme Court. Then in the third judge's case of 1998, Supreme Court on President's reference expanded the Collegium to a 5-member body comprising the CJI and 4 of his senior-most colleagues, for example, for the transfer of HC judges. Moving on to talk about the appointment of HC judges, see the Article 217 of the Constitution states that the judge of a High Court shall be appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India and the Governor of the state. Furthermore, in case of the appointment of a judge other than the Chief Justice of High Court is consulted. So what about the consultation process? See, the High Court's judges are recommended by a collegium comprising the Chief Justice of India and 2 senior-most judges. But the proposal, however, is initiated by the Chief Justice of High Court, concerned in consultation with the 2 senior-most judges. Then the recommendation is sent to the Chief Minister, who advises the Governor to send proposal to the Union Law Minister. Significantly, the Chief Justice of High Court is appointed as per the policy of having Chief Justices from outside the respective states. The next article says that 2 Madhya Pradesh forest officials suspended for negligence in elephant deaths. Preliminary probe rules out the foul play. Furthermore, the report says that elephants died due to the toxicity after consuming the kodo millet crop and there was no sign of pesticide use or third-party involvement. Post-mortem forensic analysis awaited. So CM hikes aid to kin to 25 lakh. In this context, let us talk about Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve and then about the elephants. See, this reserve is located in the Umeria district of Madhya Pradesh. Know that it is spread over Vignan Hills. Furthermore, it was declared a national park in 1968 and then became a tiger reserve in the year 1993. Also, it is known for the Royal Bengal tigers. Notably, the density of the tiger population at the Bandhavgarh is the highest known in India as well as in the world also. Talking about its vegetation, see, it is mostly of dry deciduous type. Then talking about the flora, the Bandhavgarh is specially filled with sal forest in the valleys and bamboo stretches on the lower slopes of the region. Moving on to talk about the fauna, the important prey species consists of chital, sambar, barking deer, nilgai, chinkara, wild pig, chausinga, lagur and rhesus macaque. Then talking about the elephants, see, elephant is the natural heritage animal of India. Significantly, elephants are considered a keystone species as they play a key role in maintaining the balance and health of the forest ecosystems. Now, talking about the elephants in India, see, elephants has the largest number of wild Asian elephants, estimated at 29,964 according to the 2017 census by Project Elephant. Significantly, Karnataka has the highest number of elephants, followed by Assam and Kerala. Then talking about the conservation status, see, the IUCN Red List categorized it as endangered. Then it is under the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Furthermore, it is under Appendix 1 of CITES. Now moving on to talk about the Project Elephant. See, the Project Elephant was launched with the following objectives. Firstly, to protect the elephants, their habitat and corridors. Secondly, to address the issues of man-animal conflict. And lastly, the welfare of captive elephants. The next article says that the Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Sunday said tribals would be exempted from the Uniform Civil Code whenever or wherever it is implemented in India, added that there was no confusion about it. In this context, let us talk about the Uniform Civil Code. See, the Uniform Civil Code is a proposed set of laws intended to replace the diverse personal laws governing various communities in the country with a single set of laws which are applicable to all citizens irrespective of their religion. Know that the code comes under the Article 44 of the Constitution, which lays down that the state shall endeavour to secure a uniform civil code for the citizens throughout the territory of India. Notably, it is part of the directive principles of state policy. So, these principles are not legally enforceable but are meant to guide the state in making policies. Furthermore, it has been supported by some as a way to promote national integration and gender justice, but opposed by others as a threat to religious freedom and diversity. Significantly, the idea of UCC is to promote equality and non-discrimination by ensuring that all the citizens are governed by the same set of laws in matters such as marriage, divorce, inheritance, and adoption. See, the only state in India that has UCC is Goa, which retained its common family law known as the Goa Civil Code after it was liberated from Portuguese rule in 1961 under Uttarakhand, or until Uttarakhand also implemented it. The rest of the India follows different personal laws based on their religious or community identity. So recently, Uttarakhand has passed the Uttarakhand Uniform Civil Code Bill 2024, becoming the first state in India to implement a uniform civil code. The next article says that the foreign investors pulled out a massive 94,000 crore rupees from the Indian stock market in October, making it the worst ever month in terms of outflows, triggered by elevated valuation of domestic equities and attractive valuations of Chinese stocks. In this context, let us talk about foreign portfolio investment. See, FPI refers to the purchase and holding of a wide array of foreign financial assets by investors seeking to invest in a country outside their own. Some of the examples of FPIs include stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds, American depository receipts, and global depository receipts. Note that FPI is part of a country's capital account and is shown on its balance of payments. Significantly, FPI generally intends to invest money into the foreign country's stock market to generate a quick return. Note that in India, foreign portfolio investment is regulated by Securities and Exchange Board of India. Notably, FPI in India refers to the investment groups or foreign institutional investors and foreign qualified investors. Now, what drives the flow of FPI into a country? See, the factors such as economic stability, growth prospects, favorable regulatory environments, and attractive returns draw FPI into a country. But there are risks associated with FPI like currency fluctuations, political instability, different regulatory environments, and economic viability in the foreign market. Notably, FPI is often referred to as hot money because of its tendency to flee at the first signs of trouble in an economy. Also, remember that FPI is more liquid, volatile, and therefore riskier than FDI. The next article says that an auto rickshaw driver in Pune and a fake company registered in his name were at the heart of an elaborate goods and services tax scam unearthed by the Directorate General of GST Intelligence Authorities last week, involving an amount of 5,000 to 8,000 crore rupees. So the accused in the fraud are alleged to have registered as many as 246 fake GST firms to commit the multi-crore fraud. Furthermore, using these fake firms, the accused would use stolen personal identities and multiple bank accounts to undertake the fake GST transactions without any real supply of goods or payment of tax to the government. In this context, let us talk about the relevant aspects. Firstly, talking about the categories of GST evasion. The first one is undervaluation of a taxable supply, under which the businesses suppress the true value of goods or services to reduce the tax owed. The second one is supply without payment of tax, under which transactions occur without the necessary GST being charged, especially in services like brand licensing or property leases. The third one is non-payment under reverse charge mechanism, under which entities fail to pay GST that should be reversed charged to them. And lastly, wrongful availment of input tax credit, under which fraudulent claims of ITC through fake firms, invoices, and other falsified claims are done. Now, if we have to talk about the major forms of fraud, firstly, fake ITC claims, which is the most complex fraud, involves creating an ecosystem of fake businesses and invoices, often facilitated by identity theft and traded in marketplaces. Secondly, undervaluation and misclassification. In this, the companies undervalue or misclassify the goods, such as in the reported case of plywood manufacturers in Jaipur. Lastly, non-payment for taxable suppliers. For example, in Mumbai, a taxpayer failed to pay GST on a substantial upfront brand licensing fee. Know that in services sector, high evasion is seen in online gaming and financial services. And in good, notable evasion is seen in sectors dealing with iron, copper, and tobacco products. Notably, Mumbai has the highest detected amount of GST evasion, followed by Delhi, Pune, Gurugram, and Hyderabad. Often the amount detected surpasses the amount recovered due to the complex and layered nature of the fraud, which allows the perpetrators to exhaust or transfer the falsely claimed credits before the authorities can intervene effectively. The next article says that the first science result from the Aditya L-1 mission, which is India's first scientific mission dedicated to studying the sun, is out. In this context, let us talk about the Aditya L-1 mission. See, Aditya L-1 is India's first dedicated solar observatory mission launched by the Indian Space Research Organization in September 2023. Significantly, the mission aims to study the sun, particularly in its outermost layers, including the corona, and to understand the solar activities and their impact on space weather. Furthermore, the PSLV will initially place the Aditya L-1 in a lower Earth orbit. Now, what are the Lagrange points? See, there are 5 Lagrange points, L1 to L5, between any two celestial body ecosystem. Notably, these positions, the gravitational pull of the celestial bodies equals the centripetal force required to keep a smaller third body in the orbit. So, in simpler words, the forces acting on the third body cancel out each other. Then, what are the objectives of the Aditya L-1 mission? See, the mission's main objective is to expand our knowledge of the sun and how its radiation, heat, flow of particles and magnetic fields affect us. Below is a list of other objectives of that mission will embark upon, which are, firstly, to study the upper atmospheric layers of the sun called the chromosphere and corona. While the corona is the outermost layer, the chromosphere is just below it. Secondly, to examine the coronal mass ejections, which are the large expulsions of plasma and magnetic fields from the sun's corona. Thirdly, to analyze the corona's magnetic field and the driver of the space weather. Fourthly, to understand why sun's not so bright corona is 1,000,000 degrees Celsius hot when the temperature on the surface of the sun is just about 5,500 degrees Celsius. And lastly, to help the scientists know the reasons behind the acceleration of particles on the sun, which leads to the solar wind, which is the constant flow of particles from the sun. Now, whatever the payloads it carries, see, Aditya L-1 carries several scientific instruments to achieve its objectives, including visible emission line chromograph, solar ultraviolet imaging telescope, Aditya solar wind particle experiment, and lastly, solar high energy particle experiment. The last article of the day is from the PIB, which says that continuing to meet the India's coal requirement and bolstering the energy sector, the state-owned Coal India Limited stepped into its 50th year of inception on November 1st of 2024. In this context, let us talk about Coal India Limited. See, established in the year 1975, Coal India Limited is a state-owned enterprise under Ministry of Coal of the Government of India. Know that it operates through numerous subsidiaries, which is a significant number of coal mines across various states in India. Furthermore, Coal India Limited, classified as a Maharatna enterprise under the Ministry of Coal of Government of India, has its headquarters situated in Kolkata of West Bengal. Moving on to talk about the production and operations. See, the Coal India Limited accounts for around 80% of India's total production, producing a substantial amount of both thermal and coking coal. Know that the company operates both open cast and underground mines with a focus on enhancing the production efficiency and adopting modern mining techniques. Now, talking about its role in the energy supply, see, coal is a primary source of energy for India, particularly for electricity generation. So, the Coal India Limited plays a critical role in ensuring a steady supply of coal to power the plants and industries. Furthermore, the company also contributes to various sectors, including steel and cement, where coking coal is essential. So, in this video, we have discussed 9 articles in total for today from the Hindu, the Indian Express and the PIB from the prelims perspective. We'll be back again with another video tomorrow. Thank you.